All right, today we are diving into a really cool side of travel, one that goes way beyond the usual tourist traps and postcard pictures. We're going to look at how Thailand is turning travel itself into a massive opportunity for learning, but also how it's running into some serious growing pains. Let's get into it. So think about it. When you plan a trip, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Is it just about kicking back on a beach somewhere? Or could it be something more? What if your next trip wasn't just a getaway, but a chance to actually learn something new? That's the huge idea we're exploring today. And this brings us to this special category called educational tourism. It's really the difference between just watching from the sidelines and actually getting in the game. It's all about traveling with a purpose. At its heart, it's this amazing mix, right? You've got the thrill of travel, the excitement of exploring, and the satisfaction of learning, all wrapped up in the middle of a completely new culture. It's for people who aren't just looking for a break. They're looking for personal growth. It really just boils down to your mindset. On one hand, you've got the typical tourist, right? They're running around with a camera, checking landmarks off a list. But then you have the learning traveler. They're there to absorb something new. Maybe it's a language, a new skill, or just a completely different way of looking at the world. So how do you actually become a learning traveler in a place like Thailand? Well, it turns out there are a few main paths you can go down. Let's take a look at the 3 big ways this whole thing comes to life. As you can see, it kind of splits into 3 main flavors. You've got your structured academic exchanges, your really hands-on cultural immersion, and then focused language learning. Each one is a totally unique way to travel with a real goal in mind. So, for example, an academic exchange, that could be doing a semester abroad at a university in Bangkok. Cultural immersion, that might mean living with a local family or getting your hands dirty working on a community project up north. And language learning could be anything from a quick 2-week course to get the basics down to a full-on program to become fluent in Thai. Okay, so we know what it is, but why does it matter so much, especially for a country like Thailand? Well, it turns out that when you invest in this type of tourism, the payoff is huge. And believe me, it's not just about the money. Get a load of this number. $225 million. That's how much money this brought in a single year, way back in 1979. And here's the brilliant part. That money wasn't just pocketed as profit. It was reinvested to help Thai students go study overseas. It created this incredible self-sustaining loop of global education. But, the real value goes so far beyond the balance sheet. This is about building bridges between people. It creates real, genuine understanding and respect between cultures. It's a powerful kind of diplomacy, really. Because when you learn in a country, you truly learn from it. And this just creates a positive ripple effect all around. For Thailand, it means new jobs and a fantastic way to share its rich culture with the entire world. And for the traveler, it's a chance for some serious personal growth. It's truly a win-win situation. Okay, but let's get real for a minute. It's not all sunshine and roses. Building an entire industry like this is ridiculously complex, and as the research shows pretty clearly, there are some major hurdles in the way. And we're talking about some pretty fundamental stuff here. You've got a lack of basic infrastructure, not enough dorms, not enough modern classrooms. Then there's a big quality control problem. With no single standard, you risk getting a bad experience. And on top of all that are the really big questions. How do you grow without harming the local culture and environment? And where does the money come from to get these programs off the ground in the first place? Now, here's what really turns up the heat. All of these challenges are happening at the same time that Thailand is pushing for explosive growth in tourism overall. We're talking about a goal of nearly 40 million visitors a year. The potential upside is massive, but so is the potential strain on the system. Which, of course, brings us to the most important question of all. Can this kind of growth actually be managed responsibly? I mean, how do you scale up your tourism industry without accidentally destroying the very things, the culture, the environment, that people are coming to see? It's an incredibly delicate tightrope to walk. So, what's the game plan? How do you move forward? Let's break down the strategy that experts are proposing to tackle these challenges and build a really strong, sustainable future for educational tourism in Thailand. The strategy really comes down to 4 key steps. First, you have to build the foundation, get the infrastructure right. Then, you've got to focus on quality control, creating a high standard that everyone can trust. The third step is all about teamwork, getting schools, the government, and private industry all working together. And the final, most important piece is that it all has to be done responsibly, making sure that this growth actually helps local communities and protects Thailand's amazing heritage. And that brings us right back to where we started. When you look at Thailand's whole journey, it really makes you think, maybe the future of travel isn't just about seeing the world. Maybe it's about learning from it. And maybe the best souvenir you can ever bring home is a brand new perspective. Thanks so much for joining me for this one.